Hello everyone, my name is Gabby Abrigo, and this is my presentation on unleashing creativity with Canva. This presentation was created for the 2023 Vail School District EdTech Half Day. This presentation is specifically from Session 2, however it is the same as the presentation from Session 1, just has different responses. I'll give us the opportunity while watching to interact with the presentation, but we're also going to look at the answers given from teachers in Session 2. We started off this presentation with bell work. I asked everyone to write one word to describe Arizona's EdTech standards. I started us off by saying that the EdTech standards are the future, and I also added my initials here. Teachers were able to add their own text boxes by going to text up here in the corner. And then they could click on add heading, add subheading, add a little body of text, and you'll even see that some teachers used the font combinations that were provided from Canva. A few words that other teachers used to describe Arizona's EdTech standards were growing, developing, I love this one, handy dandy, empowered, expanding, imagination, creative. There are many words that teachers used to describe these EdTech standards. One thing that I noticed in Session 2 that I didn't see in Session 1 is that a lot of teachers were very hopeful for taking these Arizona EdTech standards back to their classroom. And in Session 1, when I got the first set of teachers, I did see a lot of words like confusing, challenging, too much, chaotic. And I completely agree. These are some new standards. These can be very overwhelming to see at first. And one thing that I love about Session 2 is that all of these teachers had gone to a previous EdTech standard presentation, and I think they had a little more hope for how they could take everything back to their classroom. And I hope that at the end of this presentation, you guys will also see that hope as well. So moving forward, once again, this is the presentation on unleashing creativity with Canva. And our objective today is Standard 6, the creative communicator. And just as I was saying before, by the end of this session, I hope that you have some strategies to take back to your classroom that align with creative communication. This way, our students have the opportunity to show their knowledge, to show their growth through technology. With this standard, Standard 6, it is broken up into 3 subsections. We have subsection A, students select appropriate platforms and tools to create, share, and communicate their work effectively. B, students create original works or responsibly repurpose digital resources into new creative works. And C, students create artifacts using digital tools to communicate complex ideas textually, visually, graphically, and auditorily. So take a moment and think about these 3 subsections to this standard creative communicator. And I want you to think, what are some practices or activities that you currently use in your classroom that match these standards? If you want, you can pause the video and we'll resume. So a lot of teachers said that they used these standards with Google Office or Google Tools. So Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, which is a big one. All of those tools are typically what teachers currently use in their classroom. And all of those Google tools are absolutely spectacular. They're amazing. And what's great about Canva is that if you are looking to expand upon everything that you have in Google, whether you have a Google slide presentation or a Google Doc or a Google Sheet, you can actually export all of those into Canva and build upon that. You can create assignments for students based off what you already have. You can create new presentations for yourself based off of what you have. Canva is a really great tool to enhance everything that you probably are already doing. For our agenda today, we are going to see how you can incorporate Canva in your classroom to empower creative communication. Then we're going to go into a workshop where you can see what session 2 did, but you will also have the opportunity to add and play around with their work. And at the end of this session, I will have a link to the questions and answers that I got from session 1 and session 2. One thing to note about this presentation is that it's specifically how students can be using Canva and how you can empower students to be creative communicators. If you are looking for videos or for tips and help on Canva, Canva does provide a lot of videos, a lot of walkthroughs on how to actually use their platform. One thing that I saw is that just playing around with Canva, you learn a lot. So regardless of your knowledge of this program, being able to just play around with it is the first step of actually understanding how you as a teacher can use this. Going into the next slide, I have a tip for us. A lot of my images, a lot of my texts have links attached to them. So we're just going to practice using these links. If you are someone that needs help, this is how you click on a link. So I'm going to click on the ramen here and see if it has a link. It does. And I know that it has a link because it'll give me this box with an arrow, or it would give us the chains to show that it's linked. And in order to jump around in this presentation, we're going to click on the box with the arrow, and it's going to take us to the page that I have linked. So this ramen has a link. So let's go ahead and click on it, see where it takes us. It takes us right to the front page. I already have the front page linked as well. So while you're in this front page, you can go ahead and click on answering the call, and you can click on go to page, and it's going to take us right back. Now, if you're in presenter view, which means, or in the PDF view, you're going to be able to just immediately click on the ramen bowl, immediately click on the answering the call, and it's going to take you right where you want to go. If you are in edit mode, or in creative mode, which is what we are doing right now, which is what I'm showing you, that's when you have to click on the box or click on the links for them to work. All right, so what is Canva? I've been talking about Canva. What actually is this? Well, it is a platform to create any sort of visual content, so presentations, posters, infographics, and so much more. If you are someone who may not have a lot of design skills, or maybe you think of yourself as not a creative person, what's great about Canva is that you are able to produce these really professional designs through the elements they have, through the text they have, and they have tons and tons and tons of templates that you can use as well. That makes it very easy for anybody, regardless of how tech savvy you are, regardless of how creative you are going to be able to create something really spectacular on Canva. So how can you as a teacher use Canva? I know I said that this is specifically about students, but I really wanted to throw in a quick slide just for you guys. So using Canva for teachers is amazing. You can create Schoology graphics if you're teachers that use Schoology. During my COVID year, I had buttons on my Schoology page and I made it look beautiful, and you can make that all on here on Canva. Email signatures, lesson plans and agendas, worksheets, posters. I use Canva a lot for guided notes. It's great. You can make instructional videos on here and so much more. One thing that I really, really like about Canva is that it has these presenter hotkeys. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how these work right now. I'm going to go ahead and go to present. And I'm just going to hit present full screen. Of course, here it shows that you can present and record. You could put this on audio play, and there's also presenter view. If you have a computer and a projector, presenter view is the best way to go. I'm just going to go ahead and hit present screen. And it gives me this beautiful audio just because I put this audio there. But one thing that I love about Canva is that these hotkeys really bring your presentation to life. So let's say you want to put some bubbles on your presentation. I just have to click O. And it gives me bubbles. It gives me a nice bubble sound, and it shows bubbles on my screen. Let's say your kids are working in their independent groups, they're working in their small groups, and you need everybody to come back together and you need everybody to be quiet. If I were to hit Q, it would give us a little shh emoji, and also the shh voice. And then I love the confetti one. It will just kind of pop out confetti for you all over the screen. Anytime a student might get a question correct, that's a great way to celebrate. Let's say you need all eyes on you. You could push B to blur the screen, or U for a curtain call. And on top of that, you can click any number to create a timer. So let's say I need my students to work independently for 3 minutes. I click the number 3 and this pops up there. Of course, you can change this as needed. You can decide to put audio over it, music over it. It's a really great tool to use. If you are looking to create activities, I added a few of my favorite activity templates here that I saw just while browsing through Canva. There's stuff for science, art, math, ELA, social studies, SEL. If you would like to create presentations, I found a few presentations here that I also really liked. Of course, if you're not teaching, order of operations, you could always turn this into something else. I love picking presentations and then tailoring it to what we're actually learning. But what I love about it is that it will always keep that beautiful, beautiful template. So how can students use Canva? So the first time I assigned a student work on Canva, I did this transformations manipulative. So if you click on it, it will give you the transformations manipulative that we used. There's a tropical presentation that my science teacher used. This is actually a student presentation that they did. A wanted poster that a student did for social studies. And at my school, we have video announcements that students make on Canva. It's absolutely amazing, and they're able to create the visuals. They're able to put together what they want it to look like. They could even record on Canva as well. So when should you use Canva? So these are just, again, some activities, manipulatives, worksheets, data visualization, programming game assets for STEM if you're someone that teaches STEM. Early finishers is a good one. For sub-materials, it's one of my favorite sub-activities. And then, of course, for any sort of student-driven activities, any sort of PBL that you guys use, this is a great way. I've even seen students create like beats, like DJing on Canva before, by mixing together different sounds, different songs. It was really cool. So we're going to just do a quick reline and see how Canva aligns with all of these EdTech standards. We can go ahead and click on this and it takes us all the way back. So again, we are in that presenter view, which is why when I clicked on it, it just took us right where we wanted to go. So objective, we have objective 6A. Students select appropriate platforms and tools to create, share, and communicate their work effectively. Canva is everything that Step A is all about. This is a platform that they can use all of the tools to communicate their work. B, students create original works or responsibly repurpose digital resources into creative works. One of the biggest things here is that, yes, they can create something completely from scratch, but we know that if students need a little help, Canva has a lot of open source content for them to use, making it very, very easy to get into that creative mindset. And If they decide to use things outside of Canva, of course, and bring them into Canva, because you can upload content, it's very important for students to know how to also cite that source, just like any other presentation or project-based learning activity they might be doing. And 6C, students create artifacts using digital tools to communicate complex ideas textually, visually, graphically, and auditorily. This is just by submitting their work. This is by showing a presentation in class, putting, up a YouTube video if they had a video project that they needed to do. By publishing their work off of Canva, they will create these digital artifacts. So if you want to go ahead and fast forward, we can click the fast forward button here and it'll take us right where we need to go. And I am going to go ahead and go back into edit mode. We are going to go into a group activity. So you guys are now students in art class, and we're going to go over what these standards may look like for a student. So this is an art critique. And as a group, I asked everybody in session 2 as well as session 1, but this is again session 2's answers and work. I wanted everybody to first choose an art piece. And then after they chose an art piece, all of the teachers took one of these sticky notes and they dragged it over to say how they made the artwork feel. And they dragged it over down here to share what the artwork's message was for them. So they're going to copy and paste or just move over. They're going to take a minute to write down their names at the bottom of the sticky note, and then use the answer spot to write how they want to answer these 2 questions. After they're done with that, they, as a group, discuss the answers. We came back to discuss the answers, and it was a great project, a great little quick project for us. So let's look at what Group 1 did. Group 1, what they did was they clicked on this button here that says click, and it took us to a page of artwork. Now, of course, if this is something that you want to do in class and you want students to actually research, this is another great great opportunity that students can incorporate ed tech standards into this by researching things and using open source content and bringing it back to Canva. What I did was I just went ahead and presented all of the artworks that I wanted my teachers to use. So I just put it all onto this page. So I believe this group chose the Mona Lisa. And after they chose that, all they needed to do was click on it. They could right click on it to hit copy or Control C, Command C, and then they went back to Group 1. After that, they went ahead and paste, which you could paste by right-clicking and clicking paste, or by clicking Control V or Command V. And then they started moving over all of those sticky notes, copying and pasting, and writing what they felt, and also putting down their names. We didn't have enough time to also fill out pictures and names up here, but if you wanted your students to do that, of course they could. After they were done with their project, all they needed to do was click on the submit button, and it took them to this landing page. What I really like about this landing page is whether it was with my teachers or it's with your students, it gives them the opportunity to kind of add their own spin and taste to the group project that we did, and it's a really good early finisher. So once everybody was on this landing page, they went to Elements, and then they typed in the word sticker. And by typing in the word sticker, it popped up a lot of fun little animated stickers here. It's Halloween time, so if I wanted maybe a little vampire cat, you could drag and drop it onto the screen. You could also just click on what you want as well. And clicking on that gave us these cute little stickers here. So this was a great landing page, a little early finisher for all of us, and it was a lot of fun. And you could even have students write their names underneath the sticker they chose and just see a little bit of their personality come out. So at this time, what I want you guys to do at home is to pause this video and play around with these groups. You can look at what other groups did. You can see what group 6 did. Some of them chose a few different artworks here. This group chose this little fruitful one here. And what I want you guys to do is add to any of them. And all you need to do is copy and paste. So this group still has some sticky notes left. You could highlight this, hit Control C or Command C, or right click and copy. I'm going to go ahead and hit Control C, Control C, and then Control V will actually paste it. And then I'll go ahead and type in what I think. I think this is fun and colorful. So this made me pretty happy. I love all of the colors that I see. I think it's kind of fun. I'll go ahead and put my name here. And then what I'll do is I'll copy and paste and drag this down here as well. What's this artwork's message for you? I really liked what Christina put here, that art can be found anywhere. And I think that's a really great thing to build off of. I think anything could be made into art. And I can move that anywhere I want. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, and we can do that with everything. If you decide to go to a different group, and let's say they used all of their sticky notes, you could just copy and paste one that's already there and then write your own ideas. So if you want to pause the video and play around, that's awesome. Go ahead and rewind if you need to revisit these steps, and I'll see you guys in a moment. So now that you've had some time to play around with all of those group critiques, I want you to think about how you felt about this assignment. Do you have an idea of how to use it in your own classroom? And I was also curious to see how long everyone thought it took for me to make this assignment. So if you want to pause the video and to think about these, go ahead. Talking about what some other teachers said during session 1 and session 2. During session 1, a lot of teachers really liked the concept, but they're saying that it was a little chaotic having everybody in there all at once. During session 2, I had a lot of teachers say that this was a really resourceful way to get group projects all into one page, and they liked the idea that this also matched EdTech standards. It's something that they could see their own classrooms doing. I don't think I had an art class or an art teacher in any of my classes, but they thought of different ways that they could incorporate this into their classroom. And I really liked that idea of taking something that maybe was for a different subject and adapting it to their own subject. I also asked how long they think it took for me to make the assignment. Session 1 got it correct. They said 15 minutes. I would say maybe it was less than 15 minutes. Session 2 said 3 hours. What I really appreciate about Canva is that I can take a template and easily make it my own, however I see fit. And what I did was, I'm going to scroll back and I'm going to go to the templates I showed you earlier. I used this group critique template. And if you were to click on it, you would get the same exact template. And you could click on customize template, customize this template. It has the example page and it has blank pages for you to adjust as needed. Going back to our slides, what I did was I took the example template and I added my own prep. I added my own spin to the instructions and I created different groups. I also created the group names so that way if teachers were unsure of where to go, they could easily just look at the group names, and you could just easily adjust. So let's say I wanted to change the title for page 16 as the example title. I could right click it and change the title as is, and I'll just put example. So that way teachers don't think that this was theirs. And you can also add to that if you didn't like it and you don't feel like right clicking, you could just say test and just write right over it. I'm going to keep it as example though. I also added this extra page with all of these extra artworks. Of course, once again, you could always have your students go out and find these artworks, but I decided to put them all onto one page and add these extra links to help my teachers get back to the page that they needed to. So really, all of the work was just this one page here. All I needed to do was find some artworks, and then the teachers were able to put them back. So then I gave everybody an independent activity to take back to their students, and that's what I would like you guys to do as well. So on the next slide, I have examples for each subject, each course subject, and I want you to choose the best activity that fits your classroom, and feel free to customize everything as needed. And if you decide to make a new assignment, you can click on the subject that you want to test out, and then you can use filters to choose your grade level. So let's see what that looks like. So here I have 4 beginner intermediate templates, and if let's say we wanted to look at post-war America, I took one of my good friend's worksheets that she has on Beyond Textbooks, and I turned it into a post-war America Canva assignment. This is one of my favorite things. I don't even teach social studies, and I want to do this project. So here she did ask for her students to find pictures for the World War II's impact on America, and you could have your students drag and drop some pictures, go out, Google, find some pictures, and bring them back. And then there is also one right here for students to reflect. I also was able to embed a YouTube video. So she showed a YouTube video in class. Let's say your students are absent that day, or let's say that your projector is not working, but all of the Chromebooks are working. Well, students are able to just go and watch that video. Or maybe they go home later, and this is a homework assignment, and well, how do I access this video? I'm able to just click it here because it's embedded into the presentation. There are the questions to the video, and let's say they want to watch it while answering the questions. I embedded the video one more time. There's a drag and drop for this fill in the blank activity. And then at the end here, I asked you guys to kind of finish off this assignment. So you guys could add more to this assignment that I didn't. So that is just one example of the different templates that I chose based off of Beyond Textbooks standards. Now, let's say you want to create your own. Maybe none of these really match what you need. So let's say that you are a math teacher like myself, and you're wondering, well, what can I use? Well, what's great here is that when I click on this math templates, it's going to take me to all of the math templates, and I can find my grade. Now, I am in 8th grade. I also teach algebra, so let's just click on grade 9. And we're here in math, and it's great to see all of these different ways that I can incorporate math into a digital artifact. I love this infographic here. I love this worksheet there. I love this presentation up here for pi, and there are many different things. Now, let's say I don't need something on irrational numbers, but I really, really, really like how this is laid out. And maybe I could use this for solving equations. Maybe I could use this for really anything else. I can click on this and I can customize this template, and it's so easy to just take out what you don't need or to retype whatever's there. And what I love about this is that when I click on it, it gives me other examples of infographics. So I clicked on this because I like it, but now looking down here, oh my goodness, I absolutely love this. And this is actually something that we're doing right now in class. This is something that I could post on our Schoology page, and all of our students now have a quick reminder on what types of solutions we get when solving equations. So I'm going to end it there. You can take some time to go through these, adjust, and create however you see fit. And I want to show us the closure that we had for session 2. So I wanted everybody to write down what they took away from this presentation. And I'm going to go through each one. So I realized I already follow 6A when it comes to project-based learning. I just need to be intentional with the standard. I absolutely love that. Intention with our standards and in showing that our standards are meeting the standards that are set forth by Arizona's Department of Education is great. And also making sure students understand that what they're doing isn't just, creating a presentation online. They're being creative communicators. They are going out into the digital world, and then they are creating something and publicly posting something back into the digital world. They're not only taking ideas, but they're sharing their own. Canva can be a great tool for student participation. I absolutely agree with that. Participation is huge with Canva. It's huge in my classroom, and it's a great way to put everybody together. I had a lot of students or a lot of teachers from my session 2 ask me about creating bellwork in Canva, and some of the bellworks that they've created are beautiful. I'm excited to use it with Schoology. I love incorporating Canva with Schoology, and there are a lot of videos out there that Canva posts that really help you and students when it comes to using these assignments in Schoology. And I'll make sure that you have all of the links for those. And I did have a teacher ask how to create a class or create an assignment. Once again, I have some videos that I have accumulated from Canva that very clearly show how to create a class and create an assignment in Canva. It also shows how you can post them wherever you need to post them, and how students can respond with their own. I love Canva, and I use it for all kinds of assignments. I love that. Once again, how do you create a class in Canva to assign assignments? I do have some videos, and they are going to be linked. And being more creative effortlessly. I absolutely love that. This is super, super, super easy. And what's great about Canva, once again, is you don't have to be full of design and creative ideas to create these beautiful projects. So I hope you guys are able to take away something to bring back to your classroom and help your students become those creative communicators through Canva. I also hope that even if you're not going to use Canva, I hope that this presentation at least helps describe what it means to be a creative communicator. And there are many ways that you are probably creating or empowering creative communicators in your classroom, but going back to this closure piece here, being intentional with the standard is huge. Letting your students know why you're doing this, why they're doing this is very important. Thank you all for listening, and my contact information is also listed with the Q&A.